Been a few years since I moved over here from Illinois. 1970, as a matter of fact. When I got here, there wasn't any Toastmasters Club in South County. I had come from the O'Fallon Toastmasters Club in O'Fallon, Illinois. No Toastmasters Club here. So I ended up joining the Jefferson County Toastmasters Club, not to be confused with the Jeffco Challengers. This was the predecessor of that club. And I was there for 3 years, and I decided it was time to start a club in South County. Now, I gathered a few of my friends, the guy that lived across the street, a couple of people I knew in church, put an article in the local paper, and we had our first meeting at a place called the Buck or Two Restaurant. Now, the Buck or Two Restaurant, for those of you who know me well, would know the reason why I selected that particular place. Kind of an inside joke. But having been the compensation manager at the bank, you can understand how I was a little, some people would accuse me of being tight with the buck, but yeah, you know, integrity is my watchword. So anyway, the first meeting was held in October of 1974. 12 people showed up. Now, you can't start a Toastmasters Club with 12 people. You have to have 20 people. It took us a year to get those 20 people together. But we finally did it, and we had a gala charter party at the Ramada Inn on Lindbergh. Now, you may say, there ain't no Ramada Inn on Lindbergh, but there was a Ramada Inn on Lindbergh. It's where the Circuit City is now. And for some reason, after we stopped going there, it kind of folded up and fell into disrepair. And they tore it down and built a Circuit City. So anyway, we charged ahead after we got to 20 members. In 1979, we were one of the top 10 clubs in all of Toastmasters International. Now you say, how do you get to be a top 10 club? There is a program called the Distinguished Club Plan. It rates clubs throughout Toastmasters International, or at least at that time, and I'll explain that later, based on members that you keep, members that you recruit, manual completions, charting other clubs, getting reports in on time, paying your dues, etc., etc., etc. And as a result of that Distinguished Club Plan program, we were in the first 10 of all Toastmasters, some 5,000 clubs internationally. We were among the top 10. Now that is a very difficult thing when a club has only been in existence for 4 years. Almost unheard of. Maybe it was unheard of, I don't know. Anyway, and you say, well, that might have been a fluke, but in 1981 we did it again. Now we rested for a while after that, and it wasn't until 1993 that we were number 5 in all Toastmasters International. About that time, there was 6,500 clubs in Toastmasters worldwide, Canada, Australia, England, on and on. I think there's some 32 countries now that have Toastmaster clubs. However, that wasn't our finest moment. For those longtime members who've been around here, they will remember our famous moment, which was in 1996. In 1996, we knew that the Toastmasters International Convention was coming to St. Louis, and we were loaded for bear. We had a very intensive recruitment program. We ended up with 72 members that year, with the biggest clubs, and certainly the biggest clubs in this district, one of the biggest clubs in the whole international. We broke the club into 2 pieces in order to get more manual completions. Obviously, you got 72 people, you got 4 speakers a night. It'd take you 2 years to ever get one person to make a speech. So we broke the club into 2 pieces. We met at the Holiday Inn, which is on Lindbergh now, right across from the Circuit City. They gave us 2 rooms. We'd break it into 2 parts. We'd have 5 speakers in one room, 5 speakers in the other room. We'd get 10 speeches a night. As a result, we completed, I don't know how many manuals. I had a chart at home that shows, but we got many, many speeches, and we ended up with an unbelievable number of points. We thought for sure we were going to be number one. But we came close. We were number two. Of all Toastmasters clubs, some 7,500 clubs worldwide, we were number two. Now, I will show you if you don't believe me. Here is the picture of us accepting the ribbon from the Toastmasters International President Ian Edwards. Came all the way from Australia to give this to us. And you will see some people that you may recognize. For example, right here, Jim Sally. Right here, Brent Stewart. And this is District Governor Harry Pleiss, who since passed away. But anyway, number two of all clubs in the international. So we were quite proud of that achievement. Now, so what, you say? What's that going to do for me? Well, in addition to achieving those goals, we have had many of our speakers participate and win speech contests at the area, division, and district level. We've had 4 Toastmasters who were the Toastmaster of the Year for the district. We had a district governor. We've had area governors. We've had division governors. We've had people all over the place. We've had at least, in my opinion, and some of the old-timers can kind of verify this, like Carl and Jack and Mike McDermott, who's come back to visit us this evening. I would say we've had well over 1,000 people that have come to our club. A few of us old mossbacks have hung around. But many of them have gone on. They've developed their speaking and communication skills. They've gone up to bigger and better things. Well, not any better, but they've gone on to other things. They've moved up in their businesses. They have come back and talked to us about how they were successful, and we were very proud of what we did for them. And why would we hang around? I've been a Toastmaster, believe it or not, since 1964. My boss talked me into it. At that time, I was a collector at the bank, First National Bank in St. Louis, later became Centera Bank, taken over by Boatman's Bank, which was bought out by Nations Bank, which has since become the Bank of America. Who knows what it'll be tomorrow? But anyway, I guess he thought if I was a Toastmaster, I could better talk these people out of their money. Or at one time I was repossessing cars, and that's a difficult job to take those cars away from people, I'll tell you that right now. Sometimes it takes more than talk. But anyway, he did talk me into joining the Toastmasters Club in O'Fallon. I later became the president of that club. And I never regretted it. And why would I hang around all these years, you might ask? Because, what am I going to get out of it? Obviously, I've gone as far as I'm going to go. And newer members are much better speakers than me. But I like to be here because I get fun out of it. And I like to see people grow. And you can see people come in who are shy, are not real good speakers. They are trying to get their butterflies under control. And you can see them, it's like swimming. You've got to get into the water if you're going to learn to swim. People can tell you how to do it. They can show you on the ground, but you've got to get in the water if you're going to learn to swim. And that's the way it is in Toastmasters. You've got to get up here and talk. And believe it or not, you may not believe this, but believe it or not, eventually you'll look forward to getting up here and giving a speech. Sounds impossible, but it's true.